Please remember to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button for future videos. Good morning, good Friday morning from Amsterdam. Behind me is the Rijksmuseum, where I'll be going in at 10 o'clock this morning. It's now 9:27. Today we're going to try to see different sites, including Anne Frank House, the Royal Palace, Central Station, and a few others on my walking tour. Hopefully a coffee shop or two. Keep you entertained.
You can get from Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam to Amsterdam City Centre by train, bus, or taxi. You can pay for any of these rides using your credit card. There is a train station directly under the Schiphol Airport. A train will take you around 15 minutes to get from the airport to Amsterdam Centraal, which is the central station, and costs around €6 for a single trip. A bus will take you from the airport to Centraal Station in 27 minutes and costs €6.50 for a single trip. You can tap your card to pay. You can buy an Amsterdam travel ticket, which gives you unlimited rides on all public transportation in Amsterdam. The cost is €18 for one day, and you can get discounts for 2 or 3 day tickets.
As you can see, this is a canal right in front of the Rijksmuseum, the view I was showing you earlier. And there's the Rijksmuseum building.
The Rijksmuseum is the National Museum of the Netherlands, dedicated to Dutch arts and history. The Rijksmuseum was designed by Pierre Cuypers, who also designed the Amsterdam Central Station. It was opened in 1885. Timed entry tickets to the Rijksmuseum cost €22.50 per person. The museum is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This is the main entrance of the Rijksmuseum. The Rijksmuseum contains over 800 years of Dutch history and art. Feature is Rembrandt, of course, the Dutch master. But here's the main entrance. Pretty spectacular looking entrance. It is the highlight museum of Amsterdam. This is the Great Hall inside the Rijksmuseum. It is decorated from ceiling to floor and every space in between with historical figures, including these stained glass windows of different famous Dutch people. It's kind of an intro to Dutch culture because it depicts famous scenes that are important for the Netherlands that were painted here. As I walk from the Rijksmuseum to my next destination, which is the Royal Palace, I just wanted to show you two things. First of all, the canals, which are plentiful and everywhere, and the bikes. Look how many bikes there are just parked here. One of the things I'm going to do is later on, hopefully I'll take you to Central Station, and you'll see the ocean of bikes that are parked there. But yeah, this is pretty typical for Amsterdam. Bikes and bridges. This is the Dutch Royal Palace, built around the mid-1600s, around 1650.
The Dutch Royal Palace was actually first built as a town hall. It was later claimed as a royal palace in 1806. The palace is located in Dam Square, next to the Nieuwe Kerk, or New Church, and opposite the War Memorial.
It's King William Alexander, who is the current monarch. This is part of his residences, and this is the main one that's used for receptions for international guests. If you Google what is the #1 tourist attraction in Amsterdam, you'll find that it's the Anne Frank House. and I've been inside the Anne Frank house. I was there about 16 years ago, and if you haven't done it, I would strongly suggest that if you come to Amsterdam, that is definitely something you want to see. It's an absolutely amazing experience. It's intense and heartful, and I left there with tears in my eyes. But things have changed in 16 years, so I wanted to show you what Anne Frank House looks like today. From where I was standing before, this is where I was looking at. This is the entrance to the Anne Frank House. Now the building has been totally destroyed, which is Anne Frank's house. And they put up this modern museum in its place.
Anne Frank was a young Jewish girl living in Amsterdam who kept a diary of her experiences hiding in the concealed rooms of her building for over 2 years during Nazi occupation of Amsterdam in World War II. Her work was published in 1947 as The Diary of Anne Frank, which is the English title. She is one of the most famous victims of the Holocaust. Time tickets for the Anne Frank House cost €16 and should be purchased well in advance due to high demand. Opening hours are 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. My suggestion is to come early.
And it was an incredible experience. It was just an absolutely incredible experience because you actually walked through the little girl's house. Yeah, it was an incredible story, and it weaved a tale as you saw what the girl saw every day as she walked through her house. But that's all destroyed. It's just a museum now dedicated to Anne Frank. Kind of sad. So on to the next spot, which will be a lot more exciting. As I'm walking to my next destination, I'm going by the Royal Palace. Again, it's King William Alexander, who's the current monarch. So the royal center, or the capital of the Netherlands, is Amsterdam, and also Den Haag, which is more commonly known as The Hague, which is a town, I guess about 100 kilometers from here. And so the Netherlands has 2 capital cities. It's one of the very few nations in the world that has 2 capital cities because the monarch resides in Amsterdam and the parliament is in Den Haag. Much like modern monarchies, the monarch has very little power. It's just ceremonial. Anyway, we're going to go to our next destination, which I think you'll find hopefully more interesting.
Please subscribe, post a like, and hit the notification bell for future videos.